Hello. So if I was doing your homework, here's how I would go about doing it. So for question 1, you have to write them in expanded form using powers of 10. So we're starting with 3,560. And the way I want you to look at this is, what does each number actually represent? 3 is actually 3,000. 5 is actually 500. 6 is actually 60. And then there's nothing else. So now we need to expand that even bigger to the point where we have powers of 10. In order to have powers of 10, we have to have numbers that come from powers of 10. So we need to actually take this 3 and think of it in terms of 3 times 1,000. That's what makes 3,000. And 5 times 100. And 6 times 10. So now we're in a position to change those to powers of 10. So what is 1,000 as a power of 10? Well, I know it's that 10 times 10 is 100, so it's 2, times another 10 is 1,000, so it's 10 to the exponent 3. But remember, when we're expanding like this, or when we're looking at numbers that are just a 1 with a whole bunch of zeros after it, all you have to think is count the zeros. If you just count the zeros, it'll tell you what power 10 it is. So plus 5 times 10 to the 2, because there's 2 zeros. Or you might think about it as 10 times 10, but I like to do it the other way. Plus 6 times 10 to the 1. And that's it. That's that number completely expanded out into expanded form. Let's do the next one. Number 2 is 42,621. And so now I know I have 40,000. So that's, I'm going to do every step. 40,000 plus 2,000. Sorry, it's messy. I'm writing with my fingers on an iPad. Plus 600. Plus 20. Plus 1. So now I need to take out that multiple of 10. 40,000 is really 4 groups of 10,000. And again, I kind of like to think about it like it's money. Like I only have money that has a 1 with zeros after it. So what would I use to pay 40,000? I'd use 4 $10,000 bills. I'd use 2 $1,000 bills to pay 2,000. I'd use 6 100s to pay that. And I'd use 2 10s. Sorry, I ran out of room a little bit there. I should have just done. So next I need to change some of these into powers of 10. So the way to go about doing that, there's 2 ways you can do 10 times 10 times 10 until you get the number you're looking for, or you can just count the zeros. 4 times 10 to the 4 plus 2 times 10 to the 3 plus 6 times 10 to the 2. Kind of running out of room here. Plus 2 times 10 to the 1, or 2 times 10. You don't even have to put that 1 necessarily. Plus 1. Little line there so you can tell those apart. And that's that one, pretty much all the way done. Number 3, it's a little bit bigger, but you get the idea. So I'm just going to skip ahead to the 4th one for what I'm kind of an obvious reason. These can be tricky because they have zeros in them, but it's actually easier because that means you can leave some spots out. It actually is more tricky doing a question like this with zeros in it when you're doing it the other way around, which will be in your quiz. There will be one question like that, like question 2 from your homework. We'll talk about it when we get there. So what is this number? 760,018. So I have a 700,000 plus a 60,000 plus a 10 plus an 8. That's it. It's not too bad. So now we got to break these down with some multiplying. 7 times 100,000 plus 6 times 10,000 plus, well, 1 times 10 plus 8. 7 times, I'm going to count the zeros. 10 to the exponent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus 6 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus 1 times 10 plus 8. And that one is done. I know my pluses are messy, but it's hard with your finger. So there you go. That's how you do question 1.